Good morning, everyone. If you are on, give me a shout out. Let me know you're here with me. This is Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up. And it is Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. Can you believe that? I cannot believe that. Good morning, Carol. Hi, Betty. Good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in. It's always easier when I'm talking to people than when I'm talking to myself. Not that I don't do enough of that in my studio, for sure. Excuse me. I cannot believe it is 2 days from the end of October. It's crazy. Hey, Debbie, good morning. Good morning. All right. So, you guys all follow me. You know the routine, but let me just share it in case someone pops on that doesn't. These are the just cards for October. There's 2 days left to earn the card class for free. You can earn it for free with a minimum $45 purchase on my website using this month's host code, which is right here. When your order hits $60, you're also going to get the earth tone gems as your free embellishment this month. You'll use some of those on your projects and then have lots more left to create on your own. You can also purchase the class outright for $20. And through the end of the year, we're asking for $4 postage. Well, to help with the postage and the packaging. So you would just shoot me the $24. There's a class in person in my home in Dillsburg. That is usually the second Wednesday of every month. So if you are interested in this, do one of those other actions. Okay, let's talk a little bit about those things that are ending. Hey, Julie, good morning. 30% off the kits collection. There's still a lot of great kits out there. I'm not sure any of them actually sold out, at least not as of last week. I haven't looked this week. But lots of great kits to grab. Good Christmas presents for young crafters, for maybe people living in a retirement village or a retirement home and they don't have a whole lot of space to have a huge craft room. This is perfect because the kits come with everything they need to create. You might want to add an adhesive applicator if you're giving it as a gift, or the Tombow liquid glue or something like that, because sometimes the adhesive dots and things like that are in the kits are a little harder, especially for older folks, to maneuver and create their projects with. But great deals still to be had. So make sure you check that out before the end of Thursday. Thursday's the 31st. It's also Halloween, of course. And then the starter kit special will also be gone at that point. So if you have been thinking about it, now's the time to stop thinking and take some action. $155 for $99 plus tax. It's a great deal. You're basically getting $30 additional product in your kit because normally it's $125.99 for 99. So if you're thinking about that, pull the trigger, make it happen. There's really no drawback to it. If it's not your thing, then you just don't do anything for a few months and eventually you will be dropped, quote unquote. But during those few months, if you decide there's a few other items from Stampin' Up that you would like to have, you're going to get 20% off of the price. So makes it a little bit more worthwhile, maybe. Okay. And then I still have 2 spots left in my, I think it's 2, might be 3, not sure. In my Wrapping Up Christmas, if you are in the Gettysburg, Pennsylvania area, this is my new retreat house. We opened in January of this year. I can't believe it's been almost 10 months already. Cozy Craft Nest. It's south of Gettysburg. We're doing a 12-hour retreat on December 7th, wrapping up Christmas to finish up all those last-minute Christmas projects, Christmas cards, whatever you may want to work on. You can also come and do diamond painting, crocheting, knitting. There's really no rules as far as what craft you can do. I don't know, metalworking might not work, but jewelry making would certainly be an option as well. But you can check that out and let me know if you're interested. As I said, I think there's either 2 or 3 spots left for that. Okay. We are going to play. Oh, wait, one more thing. Where'd they go? Here they are. I'm like, I had them laying here. These were the cards we made last time together. Iconic Celebrations and that fabulous year-round paper. I love that paper. And the winner of these cards is Betty Ling. So congratulations, Betty. Thanks for watching and commenting and supporting me and my small business. If it's okay with you, since I'm going to see you like in 2 weeks, I might just bring these along. But let me know if you want me to mail them. Okay? All right, there we go. Now we're going to talk about what we're going to do next. And that is we're going to play with the Winterly Treetops bundle. So we had the opportunity to pre-order. I think it was part of an event we did, maybe, I'm not sure, as demonstrators. And we had the opportunity to get the kit way early, or the bundle way early. And I did. And it sat on my shelf until a couple weeks ago when I decided I wanted to showcase it in one of my coffee and cards for YouTube. It's a great set because it has beautiful imagery in it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be Christmas. Excuse me, guys. Okay, perfect. But I did make a couple Christmas cards with it, and then just a regular card. So we're going to play with this. And the first card is a thinking of you card. And it's also a little bit of a fun one. I haven't done one of these in quite a while. So we have a belly band with our focal image on it. And then it just opens up. And I left it blank so you could write a personal message, but I wanted to decorate the inside just a little bit. So I used that cute little stamp that's in there. And we colored that with light old olive and light pumpkin pie blends. And we're going to see how this goes because I have done something to my wrist, which is making stamping a bit painful, but we're going to give it a whirl here. So all right, so I just took a regular card, scored it at 2 1/8 from each end, and brought my sides in. And we have some designer series paper. Now, here's the funny thing. When I designed these projects, I did not have the coordinating designer series paper. I had it, it just was in a different location than I was when I was creating these projects. So this is actually our perennial lavender paper, right? So, all right, who was playing with my adhesive? Good morning, Sharon. Good to see you. Of course, I would pick up the empty one first, right? There we go. What's happening here? Oh no, I see red on that one too. Red is the signal that you're going to run out. So is anybody done with their Christmas cards for this year? So we just layer the panels. And then I used the deckled rectangles to cut the Cajun craze and the layer of basic white. We're going to do a little stamping on here. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. That helps new people find me. I have a retreat weekend this weekend too, and it'll be interesting to do everything I need to do with a bum wrist, but we will get it done. Yours are done, Carol. I am so jealous. I always think I'm done, and then I sit down and I go to mail them, and I'm not done. And then you're too done. Well, that makes me feel better, Debbie. I think I probably have a few more than 2 because of all the ones I've done to share with you guys here online, both here on YouTube and over on Facebook. So the Thinking of You stamp I'm using comes right from the Winterly Treetops. Well, I would have really liked that to have been a little more centered, but we're going to go with it. And I'm going to bring in, while I've got Memento close by, we're just going to do our side here. I'll bring in a piece of scrap paper while I stamp down the side. And I'd always like to make sure imagery goes off the edge of the paper, right? Whether you're stamping a background on your card front, you're stamping your inside, whatever. It just makes it look more finished, in my opinion. Okay, so right before I went live, I got up to grab my memento because I didn't see one over here. And now literally there are 3 mementos that have magically appeared in front of me. I don't understand. That's awesome. That is awesome, Sharon. 79. That's fabulous. Oh, see, I do all different ones, obviously, because I'm using a lot of the ones from the lives. And we do some in my classes, and we do some in my Just Cards class. So literally, this is just light pumpkin pie that I'm doing the buds with. I kept to the fall tones, autumnal tones, if you will. And here we are watching paint dry while I color, right? Oh, so do you guys do Halloween? Do you get trick-or-treaters where you are? I love Halloween. Just because of the kids and the costumes and everything. And I have only ever lived one place in my entire life, and I've lived a lot of places when I go back and count, that actually we got trick-or-treaters. It's very sad. And we live in it's a very it's not even a development. Like, we live on, I think this used, I mean, it's called Orchard Lane, so I'm thinking this used to be an orchard, the ground that we're on. And there's, in our immediate area, there's probably 11 or 12 houses here, 12 houses, I think, including ours. And I thought, oh, good, we'll get some trick-or-treaters at least. Nope, because in the early days, somebody in our little area decided, no, we'll just have all the kids show up one night, not even trick-or-treat night, and get their candy, and we'll do a little outdoor party. Okay. Not the same. It's not the same. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of light and dark crumb cake. Crumb cake? Yeah, easy for me to say. Crumb cake. You don't get any either? Yeah. We lived in a big development when we first got married. We bought our first house in a big development. And I was so excited because, yes, I knew we were going to get trick-or-treaters. And it was one of those developments where they actually bust the kids into. So I'm like, okay, we're going to finally get trick-or-treaters. I was so sad. The very first year we were there, I decorated outside. I had cute little stuff in the yard and lights and everything. And we got done decorating and we decided to go out for dinner. So we did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when we got home, the neighborhood children had come and destroyed everything. They had, I believe, taken some of the stuff as well as threw some of it down the grate for the water that flows through the development that was at the end of our driveway. I wasn't happy. I was sad. So, yeah. I said to my neighbor, I said, well, that's it. I'm not doing trick or treat this year. And she said, oh, they're just kids. You can't do that to them. I'm like, and that's why the kids do what they do. Oh, wow. Holy cow. Well, that makes it really hard to plan and get candy, doesn't it, Betty? So again, I'm just using crumb cake to color in our little bird. And we're not going to do much more. We're just going to finish the berries off here. Sorry, I'm not sure why I'm coughing, other than we have discovered that there is something in our house, and we're hoping it's not our cats that are causing this, because I do not cough at the nest like this. So yeah, there's that. Oh, I didn't want that end. I'm a bullet tip girl. I will use the brush tip only when necessary to get into really tight spaces. So that's the light real red. And then we're going to come in with the darker. Or maybe I did that in the opposite. Yep, I did. That's all right. Yeah, well, she didn't have any, so I couldn't blame it. I couldn't believe that, but yeah, that made me sad. That made me sad. So, and we didn't do trick or treat that year. We but it made me sad on two fronts. Certainly I was sad because I spent money on those decorations, but secondly, I was sad for those children because for me, Halloween, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like Halloween, and I understand the reasonings, but it was a fun holiday, and I loved all the decorations and the costumes and everything. And of course, I love fall, so that was part of it too. And I just thought, ooh, these kids don't like Halloween, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So I scored the one end to wrap my belly band. And I struggle getting that other end scored correctly. So I really just do a fold over when the time comes to put the belly band on. I've tried scoring it different ways, multiple times, all that fun stuff. It just doesn't work for me. So score one end and then bring the other end over. And I'm going to do it like that. So we're meeting just about in the middle. And then we're going to put adhesive here. And you can use tear and tape for this. I find seal to work just fine. Some people want to make sure it's definitely going to hold, so they'll use something a little stronger. I've never had problems with our seal holding it in place. And then your adhesive is going to go right here, so that your adhesive is not showing beyond our focal image. And you can make your belly band however wide you want. There's no rules. I think mine's like an inch and an eighth, or an inch and a quarter. And we're going to use some of the faux glass dots. I love these dots. I think they're so pretty. Cajun craze, pumpkin pie, old olive, and crushed curry, making them perfect accents for fall projects. So 2 large and 1 small on there. And there we go. There's our gatefold card with the belly band. And I'm trying to put this belly band back on, and it's fighting me. Oh, and we did some yellow on the belly band, I just noticed. So let's do that too. I think I'm going to go with the big. It's a lot of blank canvas right there, right? Okay, there we have it. So a non-Christmas card, but it still looks wintry. Yeah. Yep. I don't understand it. And it's gotten so much worse since then too. People just come onto your property. There was a local, one of the close residents, not in this development, but in another one next door. We all have Ring cameras, obviously, or a lot of us have Ring cameras in today's world. I don't know if you guys do, or some kind of camera security, right? And she got them on video. They just pulled into her driveway, walked up to her garage, and Well, it was stuff that was sitting on the outside of the garage, but still, and just took it. And I'm just like, I can't imagine. There was another one downtown one night. It was dark. She was sitting on her porch, just enjoying a beautiful evening. This couple was walking up the side. This is in town. Was walking up the sidewalk, and she heard them. The woman say, "Oh, I really like that planner. I think it was." And he's like, "Well, go take it." So she went up and started to pick it up, and the woman said, "May I help you?" And they got out of there pretty fast. But I'm like, I just don't understand. I guess I'm an old fogey. I don't know. All right. So, pool party. Pretty Christmas card here. Lots of the greens and reds on this one. And this is actually, this is not, I don't think this is the wintry paper. No, this is the Country Woods paper. It's close to the wintry paper though, so I figured I could get away with it, right? Since I didn't have it in my location that I was designing at the time. I took another layer and I embossed it with the Snowfall Sky embossing folder. Give that a little rub so we have some good adhesion. Oh, thank you, Debbie. All right, and then I use the deckled circles. I really like the deckled dies, both the rectangles and the circles. I use those a lot. I'm gonna pop that right about there. The Merry Christmas, you know, if you watch me, that this is my favorite Merry Christmas greeting this year because it's all together in one line and it's nice and long. And sometimes you just want that long greeting. At least I do. So we're using Real Red, obviously. I'll set that aside because I think I need it for the inside. It was 36 here this morning. I'm not ready for those temperatures. And I'm going to put that on with dimensionals. Ooh. We'll go on with it. Okay, and then, so you didn't have to sit and watch me color. I did go ahead and stamp and color the birds. I used the light and darker pool party for the bird, the same color combination, although I think this time I swapped out cherry cobbler and light real red to do the berries. And then this is the light and dark mossy meadow for the greenery. We're going to die cut those. Why I didn't do that, I don't know. Hey, Donna, good to see you. Donna, am I not going to get to see you in a couple of weeks? Did I hear that? Using my voice. I'm going up to New York to do a workshop or party. Let's see if I can cut these both out at the same time. And should have brought my, I never remember to bring my mini over when I have something like this, because this would definitely fit through your mini die cutting machine. One of the things that I tell folks is, especially if you travel with your stamping, the mini is great. I love mine. I take it everywhere. And most I think of our dies today go through the mini. Now, if you don't have a die cutting machine, then again, I would obviously recommend that you get the big one to start, because then there's no restrictions for you as far as dies or embossing folders, right? Because we have a lot of oversized embossing folders too. Our embossing folders, for the embossing, you really do need the big die cutting, because mini doesn't lend itself to the embossing folders. We only have a handful of those. But if you want something to make life easy and travel with, then yes, the mini is your go-to. And it does fold up just like the larger machine, so there's no issues there. And then we're going to put a little bird right here. And I did not pop these guys. I just popped the greeting on this card. And then on the inside, I use the companion stamp from Reindeer Fun. May all your days be full of cheer. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, we'll miss you. Okay, so there is project number 2. Obviously, this one is a Christmas card, and our last one's going to be a Christmas card as well. All right, thanks, Betty. Take care. I'll see you soon. All right, one more. So this one we did in club a couple months ago. And when I went to cut the kit for this tonight or today, last night I was cutting the kit and I didn't have the designer paper. So I substituted some real red and I used the So Swirly die. I really like that, or embossing folder, I should say. It's one of our oversized one. So again, if you're somebody that likes to make 2 of each card, a lot of times you're going to be able to fit for sure 2 card fronts in there. And like if I was doing a big group of this, I could get probably at least 4 or 5 of those in there. So that's one of the benefits of the larger oversized embossing folders that we started offering. Okay. All right, so garden green, so traditional right here, right? We've got garden green for our card base. This is a front flat fold. And then we're going to emboss with that swirly embossing folder. I pick up dimensional backings everywhere. Doesn't matter how hard you try to put them in the trash can. I think they literally pop out and just go where they want to go. I'm going to put it at an angle so I get a little bit more across there. This is not a 3D folder, right? So many of our folders are 3D now. So this has a bit of a different sandwich than the 3D. It's 2 cutting pads make your sandwich. And you can see my cutting pads are well loved. And of course your platform. It's always your platform, at least at this point. And then we're gonna roll that through. Always with the fold first, right? So you're not putting straps on the fold of the embossing folder. So there's the platform, the 2 cutting pads with the embossing folder sandwiched in between. And it's just a really cool effect with that folder. So that is going to go. You have to be careful with your seal when you are applying it to an embossed piece of cardstock so that it doesn't tear it, because it likes to grab it. Well, apparently one of these is cut wrong. Let's see which one it is. And I hope it's not the red. Nope, it's the green. Just a little longer than the 5.5. that we want. There we go. Oh, that green is contrary. Try one more time. There, we got it. I think sometimes my brain, when you're repetitively cutting cardstock, I think my brain just takes a little vacation, thinks it's going to remember subconsciously or something. I'm not sure. There's Jerry. Hey, hey. Betty and you were, I didn't know you were on, Jerry. I missed you coming in. Well, that's good. I'm so happy to hear that. Absolutely. Okay, then we are going to do, this is going to be our inside. So I'm just going to lay that in there for right now to keep me straight. Got all these little pieces. This is going to be our greeting. Love and joy comes from the merriest tree stamp set. And we're going to go back and use that red again. I'm going to put that together before those two pieces disappear on me. I use the perennial postage dies to die cut that label. And I'm going to grab the wintry treetop dies again because we're going to cut that fun frame with all that pine. So I'm going to do my best to center this on there so I get my border around. I'm definitely going to want to grab some Post-it note tape to help hold it in place. Who has the wintry treetops? Does anybody have this bundle? I always like to ask to see if I'm giving you some new ideas to use with it, or maybe inspiring you to purchase it. So just note that the embossing sandwich will not die cut. I forgot to put the thin die adapter on my platform. All right, here we go. And you want to walk this off real gently so as to not to tear off any of those pine sprigs. I always walk it with my fingers so I get all of that loosened up. And then this should just release. Notice the word should. There we go. Isn't that pretty? I think that's so pretty. And this is actually kind of cool as well, but I haven't come up with a use for that yet. Do you have it, Sharon? Have you used it? Yeah, the DSP is fabulous too. And I was so bummed because I knew I had a pack of it because I knew I had gotten it with the promotion that they offered the demonstrators for that event, but it was here and I was there. That's the biggest challenge, I think, for me is trying to have everything in both locations. So we're going to emboss this background white piece with the snowflake sky 3D folder. Just gets a hard workout in my studio this time of the year. Okay. Well, where is that little bottle? That little bottle travels around and it's never where I want it. when I want it. So I'm going to reach here, excuse my reach, if I come up on camera, and grab my Tombow. Go ahead and just add some glue on the frame. This is easier than the seal because of all the die cuts going around the edges. This way. And then we will, I'm not sure that's going to work. I think that piece of white was too small. All right, I'm going to grab another piece of white, guys, because I think that one's too small. I'll keep that one and use it on another project, though, because it's already embossed. So we're going to go 4. This is 5 1/4, so we're just going to go a little bit less. All right, so we have another piece of basic white. I'm going to run that through the embossing folder real quick. And the good news is I've already colored the birds, so we won't have to watch the paint dry again. And I'm going to go back here and add a little bit more. I'm going to do a little dot on here. Before I do that, I'm just realizing I want to go ahead and mount my birds, or at least not put the glue on that side. Let's do it that way. I'm trying to remember how we did this in club. All right, so here we come with a little bit more glue just to make sure we're good. And then I'm gonna skip over this part down here and give myself room to tuck that branch under. I don't think it really matters on this folder, but just double checking. All right, I'm cursed with this piece of white. We're just going to trim it off. I did measure, but it didn't like my measurement. I tell everybody there are no mistakes in stamping, just opportunities for creativity. And that was an easy one to solve, right? All right, so my gap is right there. I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive and tuck that in here. Just a little bit. There we go. And then make sure our pine is straight. So I just tucked that little branch in under the side frame. And we're going to pull our card base back in. And again, I'm just going to put adhesive across the top edge because we're going to pop this on this front flap. We're going to put our love and joy over there with some dimensionals. So on these birds, I used obviously real red and dark real red, light and dark blends. For her, I used wild wheat. And I have to laugh every time I pick up wild wheat cardstock, wild wheat ribbon, wild wheat blends. I laugh a little bit because I remember when that color came out and I'm like, I can't ever imagine using that. And yet I reach for it quite often. There are just applications that it's perfect for, right? And then, of course, the dark daffodil and the pecan pie for the branch again. All right. And then on the inside of this one, I continued with the Mary's Trees greetings. You always have to think, which direction is my card going? Because I don't know about you, but I have certainly stamped in the wrong orientation a time or two or three or four or five, right? Hey, look, we made it through and I'm still seeing red, so that's pretty good. Didn't run out of seal. I'm keeping this one just 1/8 of an inch smaller so that we get the border around the green as well. So there we go. That was painful. I apologize for that white there, but it is, I think, a very pretty card. Um, let's bring the other two back in. Oh, wait, one other thing. On this guy, I did do Winkostella on the berries. Because, you know, it's Christmas and everything needs a little sparkle. Okay. And I already did that one, obviously. Okay, there we go. So there's the last one. These are the two Christmas cards that we did with Wintry Treetops. And then this is a Thinking of You card. Excuse me. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. That is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed those projects. If you have the Winterly Treetops, I encourage you to get them out and play with them. And they're not just for Christmas, as you saw. So you can create with them all through the year, or especially through the winter season, right? Gives you lots of opportunities to create birthday cards. I think you could make some great masculine birthday cards with this bundle. This is more of a masculine card too, so that it could go to a female or a male. And just depending upon the colors and the accent pieces that you use on your project. So it'll carry you through quite a bit of the season. All right. One other thing, I made an offer. If you don't follow me on Facebook, I did make an offer over on Facebook, and I wanted to extend it here as well. I made these cards on Sunday night. This we used the garden green white core paper and used the sanding technique on it. And then this is a bookbinding card. And then this was just a card I saw that was being sold on a retail site, and I fell in love with it. And I'm like, I can do that with Stampin' Up products. So that's where my inspiration came for that one. But anyway, if you place a minimum $35 product order on my website between now and the end of Thursday, because that's the end of the month, using my host code, I will send you the PDF for these projects. So there goes my voice completely. So you can recreate them at home. If you are 35 and you want to bump it to 45, then you're also going to earn my free cards class for the month. So 35 in product or 45 in product will get you a PDF. And with the 45, you'll also get the free Just Cards class. So take advantage of that if you like. Otherwise, make sure you leave me a comment here on this video so that you can be entered into the drawing to win those 3 projects that we made today. Thank you so much, folks. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. Take care. Bye-bye.